Long time no hear, long time no see, long time no talk, long time no everything. Oh my god. Jeez, it's been like forever. Welcome to My Life Continues Everyday podcast. I am Amanda Ilu. Oh my god, my chips is on fire. Oh my god. My life.
My life will continue every day.
My life continues every day.
Well, my life continues every day.
We move. My life continues every day with Amanda Ilu. Okay, I finally took it down. Oh my god, I had to go into the kitchen. I left my chips on fire. I forgot, they just brought the light and I'm like, oh my god, let's use this opportunity to do something because it's been like forever. And people have been asking about My Life Continues Everyday podcast. Is it gone? Is it not coming back? What's going on? And all of that. I had to do this today. And guys, somebody should please get me a manual for how to handle adulthood without a problem. And the other day, my boss was saying, you have a terrible memory. Imagine me. Neighbor, good evening. Oh no. Okay. My neighbor is singing and oh my god. That's the thing. I have to look for a quiet time to record. Okay. Good. Finally, we're back. Imagine me. People used to call me someone with a photographic memory. Man, okay, fine. I have a photographic memory. But then, no, I don't anymore. I don't know. I just don't remember things anymore. Am I the only person who has leftover courses, online courses? I mean, you start off a lesson and then you think you're doing so well and then the next day something else comes up and stuff. I know I understand the importance of planning, but if you know how to do this thing, please reach out to me and teach me because man, I'm tired. I'm doing a lot. I don't even sleep well anymore. Right now, if you can hear my voice, I feel like I keep talking about my voice every time on each episode. Now I lost my voice because yesterday at the time when this episode is being recorded, the previous day was my radio station's 5th anniversary and I'm so happy. Congratulations to Flow 94.9 FM, Umuahia, Abia State, Nigeria. We had a swell time. We had an amazing time and it's all thanks to God and the amazing teammates. Me and my colleagues are perfect. I don't know how else to put that. Okay, fine, they're not perfect. They're humans. They make mistakes. But these guys are really good. They're professionals. They know what they're doing. They really, really know what they're doing. Okay, that about that. A lot has been going on, planning that one. And guys, hey, do you know why I did not record for a long time? Let me gist you people now. So apparently I thought I was going to go to the US. Okay, sorry, it's laughable. I know. I just wanted to go. I've always wanted to be in the UK actually. All right, the UK. But then my very good friend felt like, okay, good. There's an opportunity in the US. Not my very good friend per se, my friend. And then my very good friend has been hammering because right now he is in the US. So this application came up. There was this advert for something for, students who wanted to apply for admission in a certain school. I applied though throughout last year. I was so positive. A lot of things were just working in favor of the whole thing. I was so happy. I was preparing. I mean it. I was preparing. Okay, my neighbor again. That's the thing. There's so much noise. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not living in an estate. I don't have a house of my own yet. I mean, this is my house, but I've got neighbors. What am I going to do right now? Should I go tell them to put it off? Okay, great. They finally did themselves. Okay. I'm back again. Sorry this is sounding like this, but this is how my life is. And I need to let you know that this is my life on a regular, right? So you don't get to think this one is living in space. I'll be on space. Let's come back. Did you people know that I had to apply? My friend had to help and then I had to do my own thing too. I had to apply for my international passport. I didn't have it before. I applied for it. I went for it. I went to Abuja for it. Yeah, because it was a bit, it was cost friendly. You're going to say, why don't you do it? Well, somehow the place where I reside, they didn't have enough booklets. And the place they wanted me to go to, I was going to pay exactly the same amount of money that I would pay for 10 years in Abuja for just 5 years. So what's the point? Well, I went to Abuja. Where exactly? Let me go back. So I applied for this school and stuff. Guys, I was actually getting ready. You know how people will be talking to me and I was telling them, like I'll be telling them in my mind, because June is my birth month. I kept saying in my mind, Mama, by June I'm leaving here. I don't want to have any that. June, I'm already off this place. June, I am out of Nigeria. Guys, I was planning. So the plan was to do my next episode in the US. I mean it. But man proposes and God disposes, or maybe I just didn't work hard enough. I mean, I'm laughing about it now. Sometime last week or 2 weeks ago, I was depressed. I may be acting like I'm strong right now, but man, I really needed that admission. Well, somehow, let me just cut it short. I didn't get it all. They sent me a message some 2 weeks back. Hey, I had just come out of this online meeting and then I saw a mail from them. I'd been expecting it and I'm like, oh my God, what's it going to be? I opened and they said, these people, do you know the painful thing? I spent like days, weeks, I spent 2 months from November to December applying for this thing, going through the process or processes. Guys, I wrote papers, I did this, I did that. Do you know these people rejected me in just 4 lines? It's sad. It is very sad. They rejected me in 4 lines. 4 lines. They did not even give me reasons. Why didn't you get admitted? They did not tell me. Someone would say it's normal. 4 lines. That's disrespectful. Very disrespectful. 4 lines. For something that I've been working on for 2 months. It gets as it be. But it's okay. The ways of the Lord, they say, are strange. The ways of the Lord are strange. And I want to believe He has a better plan for me. Or maybe it's just me who didn't do well enough. I don't know, man. Now I'm back to it. This was happening 2 days before the day I had taken permission from my office to go get the international passport. I'm not going to tell you too much, but I left for my cousin's place. I went there. We had a good time. I just remembered we kept talking about some literary pieces throughout the night. I can't believe us. And then we left. Oh, that was the day after we went for the whole capturing and stuff. It was simple. It was just easy. I think that was the easiest thing that has happened since this whole thing. It was easy. It went well for me, right? Just somehow God provided the right people at the right places. And man, I can tell you that by God's grace, I have my passport. Did I tell you people, oh God, this is a very long episode. Did I tell you people that after I told my mom, because I was telling my dad to please help me. I was asking my mom on the phone, where did you drop some of my documents? She's not at home right now. Where did you drop them? She told me to tell my dad who was at home to get some of them for me. So I told my dad and then he was reaching out to her, they were communicating. And then my mom called me and said, why are you looking for, certain documents? They were asking for birth certificate and all that. Why are you looking for it? Are you getting married? This is another episode. I will do a full episode on this podcast for this particular conversation with my mother. But let me just summarize it. Did you people know that? Because I didn't want to tell her I was going for the stuff, and stuff. My mom, when I eventually told her I was for international passport, she said, you want to leave the country. You're not getting married. Wait, you want to leave. You're not getting married. She said a lot of things, but man, see, I don't know. If you people know where they're selling husbands, I am ready to buy. I want to buy. Please, because... But somehow my dad talked to her and we're good. But I understand these things, they happen amongst mothers. They just feel you've come of age. The pressure sometimes is terrible. This has never happened. My dad is a fan of finish your PhD before you marry. Okay, finally, finish your master's. At least that's my father. Even though I really, really, really do not. Whatever, beg. But my mom, babe, you will marry and give me grandchildren. That's it. And this is not cliche. It's... When you hear other people saying, you think it's just the normal story. Hey, it's real. It is real. That aside, I got to Abuja. I did what I was supposed to do and I was coming back the next day. I entered, hey God, a private transport people. I was trying to save money. Instead of going into a normal public transport, this is actually, the one I entered was finally public transport. But you know how some people who have their private cars are coming back from Abuja to maybe Umuahia to a certain place, from a place to a place, and they're like, okay, let me just take passengers and just make money. That's what happened. So my aunt who brought me out gave me to these people. I paid lesser. Great. I entered. I started getting the sign to change vehicle from a place, from Giri. If you guys know Abuja Giri Bridge, I saw a bus going to Umuahia. I would have just entered down. But I told myself, it's better. Your auntie handed you over to this person. Just enter. Just stay here. Well, my patience, this time around, patience did not pay anything. Okay, maybe something worse would have happened, but what if nothing would have happened? This is how we moved from, okay, I was in the car from 7 a.m., right? 7 a.m. I was already in a car. And then we got to Giri Bridge. We stayed there for like 7:40. We stopped. Hey, God. Then we left. We moved, and then as soon as we entered Lokoja, right? That's the town immediately after you leave Abuja, right? You enter a new state, Kogi State, now Lokoja, the capital. We got to that Ajokuta area. Hey, is Ajokuta right? I think that's where there's this place they have the Salem University signboard. People in Nigeria will understand what I'm saying, though. This place. Hey, God. Oh, we stayed there. I'm not exaggerating. We're there around 9 or so. I don't know how it happened. Was it 10? 9, 10, right? I'm trying to remember, but I'm sure I got a message from someone at 9:58 and I replied. That's how I knew. Guys, hey, God. We stayed there for close to 3 hours. No. We left at 2. Guys, that's where we were. Till we got a mechanic to fix it and then stuff. And then we're glad, okay, fine. It's 2. Let's just move. This is me moving from Abuja to Umuahia. We didn't even move for like 15 minutes again. This car broke down. This is a Golf. I'm talking of a Golf. A Golf. We were 4 in this car. The driver and then three people. The driver, 2 people and me. That's altogether 5, right? And I was the only lady. Guys, this whole thing is long. This thing is long. After 15 minutes, this car broke down again. We waited and waited. The mechanic came again, checked, and went back to town. It was actually town, but he had to go back to his own shop because I think this man had a specific person in Kogi he works with. That's how your sister stayed there. I stayed there till 6:30 p.m. Do you understand what it means? I was still in Kogi State. If you're in Nigeria, you'd understand what this means. For somebody who moved from Abuja into the next state, you're supposed to still, go through 3 more states before you get to your state, or 2 more states. And when we're talking about 2 states, we're talking of like, you have to cover a very, very large distance. Very, very, it was too much. You all know how Kogi is big. This was happening 6:30 p.m. We were still in Lokoja. We've not moved into Kogi. 6 p.m. 6:30, I beg your pardon. Then we moved. We got to a place around 8:45 p.m. And then this car broke down again. This is still in Kogi, my people. And this was in the middle of nowhere. You know that place where they say that people rob people in Kogi? That is where we were. I'm sorry I'm calling the state, but that is the truth. People rob even in the best of places. We were there. I thought of wild animals. I thought of my life. I thought of all the bad things I've been doing. I said, God, this is the end. My battery, my people, was just 1%. Hey, I just sent a message to one of my friends. I told him, I'm scared. I don't know where I am. And this person was likely to be on air by then or something because he didn't reply immediately. My phone went off. Somehow the driver fixed this with the guys. We moved. We didn't move another 15 minutes, guys. And then it broke down. This is happening. This is real. It happened. Guys, we fixed again. We fixed this again. This time we're close to people's houses, but it was a village and anything would have happened. We moved. We did not take another 15 minutes. I'm not exaggerating, guys. Another 15 minutes. It broke down. Let me summarize. We got into Enugu around 3:11. I know I could just go to my aunt's house, but which bike won't carry you by that time? What motorcycle was going to transport you from the park to the house? It wasn't so far, but how would you even do it? And then the next day, in fact, that day, because that's why I had returned on a Sunday. That day was Monday. In the southeast of Nigeria, there is this policy called sit at home. It's something in solidarity for the IPOB leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Sit at home. So you don't, if you're in the southeast, there is no public transport on. We've had cars vandalized. We've had people hurt because they disobeyed this. By whoever it is that does this, I don't know. Guys, your sister was actually on the road on a sit-at-home day, southeast, 3:11 a.m. We got to a place in Enugu and we waited, and then we got another bus. And this guy said we had to leave because if we were there till 5:30 or 6, we won't move again. We moved. I can't tell you the things I was seeing on the road. Not like terrible, terrible things, but you know how people stop you and you're like, this is another mob. These people will lynch us. I kept thinking and thinking, but somehow, miraculously, I think that the bus driver had a code or something, and then once these people, and that day was the day that something had happened in Imo State, Nigeria, and I think those guys, they were actually not wearing they were not on uniforms, and they were young people. So I don't know if they were police. I don't know who they were, but I don't think they were soldiers, because the bus driver was complaining. Everybody in the car was sleeping. I was the only person awake. This is the second bus, because I had moved from the Gulf now. And he was saying, did you see any checkpoint, army checkpoint? People are scared for their lives, even people in uniforms. I was like, what is this? When I was seeing people on Mufti, I didn't know who these guys were. Some painted their faces. A lot of things. I was just traumatized. Guys, somehow I made it to Umuahia at around 7:30 a.m. This is a journey I started in the morning, Sunday morning, 7 a.m. That is to say, I spent 24 hours on the go. Guys, I don't know how to say this, but my life continues every day. I have a story coming up right now because I think I've talked too much. No, I have talked too much. The next story coming up is actually, I'm not going to say sad, but you know how you're very sick and you have to grow up with it. You're growing up with it, and a lot of people did not even know this was a problem. Some of them might think you're a snob, or some of them might think you're stubborn or something. That's the case of this person, right? He didn't really go into details, but you might picture what he went through as a kid and what's happening right now. I hope you enjoy the next story, because I can't continue telling my own story right now. I have plenty. I will tell it face by face. Meanwhile, this is still my Life Continues Everyday podcast, and I'll be back. Just listen to the story.
A very big shout out to you all, and thank you very much to Amanda Elo for this opportunity. And thank you for the podcast My Life Continues Every Day. As it's a popular thing on this podcast to share stories, I'm here to share my own story. I know it's not a regular story, but it's something I've had to live with for the whole of my life, and I still have to live with it for the rest of my life. And I just felt it's necessary to actually share it with other persons that may be going through the same thing, or possibly know somebody that is going through such a thing. One thing I've come to believe is there is no one person that is going through a thing all by himself. There's always somebody out there going through what you're going through. All they need is just to hear that there's actually somebody that is going through such a thing as themselves. Thank you again to Amanda Elo. I am a carrier of a very rare eye disease that is called retinitis pigmentosa. It is a disease that is not life-threatening, but is lifelong. The doctors say it's genetic, and researchers have proven that there is no cure to it, though there are suppressive supplements like vitamin A. Now, not to bore you with details, let me just give you what retinitis pigmentosa is all about. Like I said from the beginning, it's a rare eye disease which causes the carrier or the person not to see in dimly lit environment, mostly at night time. But the layman will say night blindness. But is it really a blindness? In one form, and the other form, no. This is simple. It may be at night, but once the environment is lit, you're able to see, you're able to perceive your environment like every other normal human being. But it is blindness when it is nighttime and the environment is not lit, while others can actually see. To an extent, you can see it all. You cannot actually perceive your environment. You cannot visualize your environment. It's that tough. I know most of you will be shocked at this disease, rare eye disease. It's a 1 in 1,000 kind of disease, and unfortunately, I am one of those in 1,000. I said fortunately because if it doesn't happen to me, whom would I want it to happen to? That is my consolation. And I draw this consolation from the Bible. I'm sorry for those that are not Christians. The Bible makes me understand that I should wish myself, or I should wish others what I wish myself. So what I am going through, as a matter of fact, from the religious point of view, is what I am supposed to go through, because God, the Almighty, the Creator, knows that I have what it takes to overcome what I am going through. All I need to do is invite Him into my situation. Sorry for that little religious deviation. Kicking on with retinitis pigmentosa. Retinitis pigmentosa is a very strange and rare disease, eye disease to be specific, and it's very, very tough on carriers or patients, because while others can do virtually everything they do during the day and also at night, you can't do at night. You can only maximize the daytime. Nighttime, you become limited because you are unable to carry out many, I can list activities for you that you cannot carry out at nighttime as a carrier of retinitis pigmentosa, to be shortened RP. Growing up with this disease is not like when I was growing up I had the knowledge I have now, or I was privy to the information I have now about this disease RP. Even my parents didn't even understand what was going on with me, but they knew there was something going on with me. They couldn't just pinpoint, because I say that because I remember sometimes probably we're in the parlor watching TV, and of course, normally when you're watching TV now, you usually either you dim the light or you turn off the light. And my dad could just say, okay, please get the remote for me from the table. Of course, there's always a center table and remotes are usually placed there. Be like, please get the remote for me from the table. First question that comes to my head is, what table? I would actually ask him out loud. What table? Center table, of course. Now, there are two things that could happen in that instance. Is either I am seeing the center table and I am not seeing the remote, or I am not seeing the center table, thereby not seeing the remote. Okay, just imagine I was seeing the center table but not the remote. So I get to the center table and I'm looking over the center table and I can't seem to pinpoint the remote. And my dad is like, get me the remote. What's wrong with you? Like, I can't see the remote. I say, what? You can't see the remote that is in front of you? You know it can be painful because your father would actually think you're doing what you're doing intentionally without actually knowing that something is wrong. But this kept going on for years. I wouldn't tell you for hours or for months. It kept going on for years. Like, pick a little thing, you can't pick it up. Okay, we're going out at night and we're walking by the roadside. You're striking a stone with your feet, and it's absurd, you get. But over time, my parents began to understand that there was actually something wrong. Before, they used to think it was strange, but now it became glaring to them that there was something wrong with this young man. And then my parents started sorting expertise from hospitals. We started going to hospitals as early or as late as the late 90s. Yeah, to get a consultation from doctors and experts. Haven't been diagnosed. Then I wasn't even diagnosed with the RP per se. The first hospital I can remember that we visited told my dad that I had a tumor at the back of my eyes. This was an information that my dad nurtured for quite a number of years. Of course, they prescribed eye drops and some medications that would melt off the tumor, supposed tumor. Then we kept working with that, thinking everything will go back to normal. But after observing the situation for some years, it was still very much the same. Nothing changed. Then until after some years, at a particular point, my dad decided to take me to another hospital. This one was strictly an eye center. Then he explained to them that the former hospital we had been to some years back diagnosed a tumor at the back of the eye. Of course, they will have to work with previous medical history. They actually scanned my eye, did all their thing, all they could do, and they came back with the results that there was never a tumor at the back of my eyes, and there's still no tumor at the back of my eyes. But what they detected was retinitis pigmentosa, RP for short. I'm telling you this story now, not because as at when they were happening, I had the information. It took years, like many years after, before I got this information from my dad. All of this information I'm giving to you right now were actually given to my dad directly, and my dad never filled me in at any point. The only thing was, okay, he would get drugs, he would keep using drugs and stuff. So I think it was from that second hospital that he realized what it was in specific, and I think that was the first time he was actually hearing of such eye disease. The regular eye diseases or impairments are glaucoma, and these the regular ones, but this particular RP was unheard of for him. So I think it actually took him by surprise, and it got him weighed down as to what is this, where is it coming from, because they said it's genetic. That means it has to be transferred. It had to have been transferred to me through my father, my mother, my grandfathers, both paternally and maternally, from the lineage. That's what it means for it to be genetic. But according to everyone that he had come in contact with, no one agreed or knew if they ever had RP. Of course, anyone at any point could have had sight defects, but none agreed or claimed to have had retinitis pigmentosa, difficulty seeing at night or dimly lit environment. Always remember, my life continues every day.
When he sent me this, I said, "You're very brave." He said he was still going to send in some parts and stuff, which means there's more to this thing. Guys, if you're, I don't know, let's all be grateful. A lot of things are happening. I don't know. When I was coming back from Abuja, all the times when our cars were stopping, we actually, how you tumble? It's not like it just stops and stops. There are some bumps where, really crazy bumps that normally would have been where, this car somersaults and then there's an accident 3 times or 4 times actually as it is. Let's just be grateful for life. And like he said, if you're passing through a similar situation, do you know how terrible it is that your sickness is genetic? It's not something you caused by yourself. It was passed on to you. But how on earth? Why are you suffering for what you don't know? But these things, they happen. If you're going through a similar situation, at least now you know that you're not the only person. It could be eyes, it could be nose, it could be ears, it could be something else. Just please hang in there. It's not easy, but I wish you the best. And somehow find a coping mechanism that will not affect you negatively. Just keep moving, because we all have stories to tell. In the end, your life, my life continues every day. Remember that until your watch is ended, you cannot end it yourself. Please stay strong. I love you. Remember to share this podcast with every person you know. And you can reach out to me on Facebook at Charlie Mandy, CharleyMandy. Facebook and Instagram, this is the name I go by. I also have a page on Facebook with Amanda Elo. You can also check out, I don't know what I was going to say here again, because they banned me on Twitter. I don't know why. They keep suspending my account. So I wanted to say my account on Twitter, but it's okay. Please do well to share this to as much people as you know. Share the link. Spread the good news. Let people know that they're not alone. And do not forget to share your story. Reach out. You can leave me a voice message on Anchor, just in case you're listening to this on the Anchor platform. You can also send me a message on my social media handles. Thank you so much for joining me on today's edition. I hope to do this again. I wanted to see next week, but man, a lot of things are happening, and adulthood is not easy, but I promise to be consistent. Thank you so much. My life continues every day. Till we meet again, may God bless you, and may His angels protect you. Meanwhile, I am Amanda Bailey. I love you.
I got you. I'm living a good life, no stress and no strife. Every day I keep moving up. Monday to Sunday, steady balling. If you can be one nature,